Turn my headphones up. Louder.
Oh yeah, here we are in the man cave. Yeah, what's going on today? This is the launch of an extension of Daily Dose Tell Your Truth.
Hello, white America, assassinate my character. Money, matrimony,
Everything I had a motive like because I just saw the drive of what I can do to help others, and that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to make sure I was in position to at least help others, and I did that. And like my family, my mom, she don't gotta work. You know, my family is just cool. My kids, if they don't go professional, pro day or whatever they want to do, they got a foundation to just sit on. So
what is it that still keeps you going then?
Well, right now I'm always playing.
Now you won a Super Bowl.
Yeah, so I'm always playing because I love the game, and then I love like football, and I love my wrestling. It's part of my life. It's part of who I am. It identifies me, because like when I play the game for fun, and I just love it. So everybody be always asking me, say, you always never mean, because I'm like, I'm really
never are,
never sad, never down. Like more like I'm just so excited to be playing a game that I love to play, and I'm getting paid for it. I have fun playing football. Some people go out there they have fun doing it, but they're going out there with I'm trying to kill you. Like, it's in the way of killing folks, but I'm like, I enjoy going against some of the greatest athletes in the world, and that's what I like to do. And a lot of my battles definitely because I love to doing it. I don't want a lot because I don't think I would love to do it if I got my ass whooped a lot. I'm like, I thought I wouldn't probably be in the lead no more if I got my ass whooped a lot. Yeah. But I really love it because I be like whooping some of the greatest athletes' ass. Yeah, it just feels good. You know what I'm saying? I play one of the tougher positions, definitely on my position. So it's just so funny, and I be having so much fun when I kind of they would talk this guy up, and I just erase it. You know what I'm saying? Like y'all. I ain't saying y'all looking over me, but y'all be feeling like this guy can better than me and all the work. And I know what kind of work I put in. Like, people be talking about outwork and stuff and outworking that. Like, I work at a way as in I outwork guys, but I outwork guys in the slay way, not how your way is. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Your way might be you want to be a power lifter, go strong and that. I'm more of I outsmart you. Yeah, the slay way. I outthink you. I outplay you. I outstudy you. Stuff like that. So everybody had their own kind of ways of being that kind of way, but and working that's how I work. My technique will be way better than yours.
I'm happy you said that because I learned that from you because I'm of the Kobe descent in the sense of work is different. So I had to adapt to you because I give you your praise about work ethic. Yeah. But what you just said is true. I'm gonna work the slay way, and you did it what works for you. And I can sit back and be like, you know what? Yeah, you're right. You did, and you showed me how to adapt to clients and being like, how can I motivate guys differently? Because I can be really hard the Mamba way, and then I can be that and adapt at the same time. And I've been able to do that because
you do a good job of that.
I've seen that. I've seen that with certain guys and how to push people, and you guys bring that out of me. So I appreciate that. A couple things I wanted to get to. Well, congratulations on the payday too. Let's keep getting that money. That's always the goal.
Oh yeah.
What was the one piece of advice at the time that you got from Dion that you forever remember still?
Dion, so after I did the combine, right? When I did the combine and I ran the 4.3, and he came up to me just like, hey, I did that part. That was easy for you because we knew you was fast. And he was like, show the folks this, and that. And he said, basically, my drill's finna start. So he was like, be you, man. Be sweet. Be smooth. So I'm like, because it's this is what everybody wanted to see from me because the scout, because I only played 1 year at D1 ball, really, because I went to junior college. My junior year, I didn't play really at all. Then I played my senior year. Well, really, not even really red shirt senior year, kind of like it was junior year, you could say. And I went crazy. So every question was on me is, what is technique like? Can he play this? Can he learn this? Can that? Because I was really just a one hit kind of guy. And then, trying to invest your money into a guy that just only played 1 year SEC ball is, do you want that part of your edge? Because if it was a bust, you bum. You know what I'm saying? So that's what he was drilling to me. Just be you, be yourself. And I knew that pressure was on me about how I need to look in drills and do everything else. So, I went out there and killed it. And I wanted after I killed it, I won like the Golden Corral player of the combine. So I like killed it and won the whole reward. So I'm like, and Deion came to me and was like, I told you. Like, you know what I'm saying? So I'm like, dang. And then I'm like hearing it from him.
Yeah.
It's like, man, I'm really getting talked to about the GOAT like
Yeah,
this. You
bro.
know what I'm saying? Like, and for him to trust and believing to me about doing all that for me, it was great to hear that from him. And then, you know, after that, Rod texted me like, you look this sweet. A lot of guys told me like, you know, you look as you're supposed to look.
And he probably tells it how it is, huh? He gonna let you know.
He's real direct. Definitely with, you know, with when it comes to players. Like, he'll tell you you're trash. He'll tell you you're decent. He'll tell you you elite. He'll tell you whatever you need, like the truth. And that's what's good. That's what's great about him. You know what I'm saying? I know his role probably different when it comes to coaching now, but at that time he wasn't coaching. He was more of like a you know, network guy, commentator, just talking to, you know, doing the combine stuff. Oh, he keeping it blood raw. Like, yeah, this guy can't pedal. Like, you know, he on a mic like that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that's how he was. And he came to me straight up. Like, it was not, I don't know, da-da-da stuff. He was more like, because I think if I was trash, he'd be like, you trash. You know what I'm saying? You need to work.
So you got Deion, and then he has the opportunity to go to Detroit. What was it like competing against Megatron? I would assume every day.
Oh, yeah, every day.
And what did you learn from him, and what piece of advice did he give you if he did speak?
Oh, man, he didn't speak as much, but he was so cool, man. He's the most humblest, like, best receiver I've ever seen besides Larry Fitzgerald. You know, Larry Fitzgerald was the most humble dude, too. But Calvin, man, did not talk much at all. He was cool, calm, collect. My first year of playing against him in practice, I never, ever, my whole rookie year, knocked the ball down from him. Like, it was just tough. Like, he whooped my ass every day. Like, every day. Because I had to be like Revis, Pat P for him in practice because them guys was traveling. So they needed me to be that kind of corner for the scout team. And I just had to do that and get first team reps of defense. And shit, he was whooping my ass like every day. So I'm like, cool. But then I got in the games. Guarding folks was just so much easier. Like, I was like, boom. But the biggest thing Calvin used to always have for me, that's why I got so many PBUs right now in my career. Like, I think I'm like fifth in the work in career. Like, I'm fifth. Like, I'm top 5, yeah. Like 160 or something. And he's like, man, if you just turn it around and look, you would pick a ball. You'll have 34 picks already. And you know what I'm saying? I got a text on my phone right now of him when I picked against the one against Green Bay, the go ball. And he texted me like, he said, man, I'm just so happy that you just starting to lean and locate. And you know what I'm saying? It'd be so funny because it's like we just always stay every trust each other. But that's what he always used to be mad at me about. Not really mad, but that's all he used to preach to me. Turn around, look for the ball. The ball will get you paid. The ball will get you paid. The ball will get you paid. Yeah, so yeah, he was my ass. And he got me right though. I'm telling you, he made, you know, without him in that kind of way, he got me right. Cause come second year, I remember my first play I made on him is OTAs. He did an out and up. I broke it up. Caldwell came to me and say, hey, Slay, look, I don't know what you was with last year, but while I'm here, 81 don't touch the ground. I said, yes, sir. But I like the play. But he said, I like the play you made. Next time, though, just let him catch that one. So, but that's how it was. And,
Was there ever this may sound weird or may not sound weird, because you're going up against Calvin and your name's not a name yet.
Yeah.
Was there ever I'm just going to kind of take it easy on him? Or was it like, I'm going to come for this?
Well,
like when Kobe, you saw Jordan, I don't give a fuck,
well,
Black Jesus or not, I'm going to break you. Did
Yeah.
you have that type of feel? Like, I respect this guy too much. I'm going to make sure I don't want to work him too much. He's a vet. What was like your mindset?
Nah, so Swartz was my DC. So he said Swartz was my head coach. So Swartz was a defensive guy. So I was the only one as a rookie that can like really get aggressive with him because they wanted me to be, you know, the next big thing around there as on the defense side of the corner position because they needed one at the time. So real bad. So he gave me like the green light. I want you to jump down. I want you to do everything you need to do to get ready because I want you to be who you need to be. So like every one-on-one drill, I had to go. Like anytime 7-on-7, I was traveling. Like they wanted me to be, you know, the guy. And I got the green light from Swartz. But when Caldwell came, it kind of like switched a little bit because Caldwell was an offensive guy. And he like, hey, we can't let $100 million get jumped on all day. Mm-hmm. But I knew how to start practicing. I learned how to practicing against Calvin, against receivers like that. So, like 50-50 balls. When I knew I'd go up and tag it, I wouldn't do it.
Got it.
But like comebacks, curls, if I'm right here, I'm knocking it down. Like I'm not gonna let you just make plays and because I need my confidence built up as much as you need yours going into the game.
Okay.
So stuff like that. So on go balls, like I'll run, make sure I'm in the lean and locate position or whatever. Or if it's like one of the ones I can just play through hands, I just play through hands. But if I see it as in like he need to jump and I need to jump, I always let Calvin jump. Because if 100 ends on the thing, I done
That
seen.
makes sense.
But because I done seen this.
Tough position to be in.
Yeah.
You don't know if I should be nice to him or if I need to fucking.
Yeah, you better be nice to him because I seen Joker who jumped up with him and he rolled his ankle.
Yeah.
He got cut, gone.
Can't have that happen.
Can't. Yeah, so it's about that business now. Like AJ Brown. AJ ain't touching that ground. AJ ain't touching that ground all week. Because if he do, it's a bad day on the
So
ground.
you gotta go up against him in practice,
Mm-hmm.
and I gotta bring him up because he's my guy, Andre Johnson.
Yeah.
Andre Johnson or Calvin Johnson, who's harder to cover?
Ooh. I mean, I went against Andre at the back end. You know what I'm saying? Because
That's okay. He was with me. We're back in Nashville, or is he still with the Texans?
like I caught I was in the league while he was with the Texans, but my
Okay.
first time playing against him was when we went to Tennessee.
okay,
Yeah.
okay, go ahead.
So he scored a game winner on us though. He ended the game on us though. But my first time, but you know, I also came here. We always training. We worked on releases and stuff together. So I got to work with him. You know, but like I think Andre gets way more credit than a lot of he gets a lot of credit, but he's smoothing it easily at the top 5 ever because it's just small. It's just quiet though because he's with 50,000 different quarterbacks. If he went with 50,000 quarterbacks, he'd have been up there with stacks and everything. So
Sorry, Dre. We tried, man.
yeah. Well, him and Calvin?
No, I just.
Oh, tomorrow,
we
get
talk
him.
about the quarterbacks.
Yeah,
all the time,
he
so-
ain't had no quarterback. Like if he just had, like I said, if he had a Matthew Stafford as a quarterback for at least 10 of his years, he'd have had like easily 1,300 yards. Easily. Because like Andre, like he's swole. Like he's like AJ a lot, but he's a lot faster than AJ, but he was like AJ size with body, he can smooth out the way, and he can run past you. AJ can too as well. But Andre was like strong. And he got routes. A lot of big guys don't routes. And he can stop on a dime.
Yeah.
Like I used to watch his film because like we thought we was going to do joint practice against him one time. So I'm like, I gotta watch Andre. I ain't gonna play around. You know what I'm saying? Because I already know. I know we come to the gym. He go let me know. Slap with your ass. We know the practice. You ain't finna get me. You ain't finna get me. So I'm already like pre-gaming. Like that's how I was. I was pre-gaming against him and Hop because we all came in together. So I'm already pre-gaming. I said I know what Hop about. I ain't never really went against Andre like went against him when he like, you know what I'm saying? Nah, he was finna get me like that. And then, but I watched him, man. And like I say, he one of the ones that could be full speed, stop on a dime, stronger than what you think, and then he's a lot faster than what you think. He can spray from you and run around. But him and Calvin was one of my favorite ones when I was coming up in that type of era because quiet, both of them quiet. Don't mess with nobody, but they not going. You know what I'm saying? You're not bullying them. You're not doing that. I seen him go like, cause I watched some of the best DBs. I watched Revis and all them go against each other, and I seen him, you know, getting on Revis before, seen him getting on Pat P before. You know, some of my favorite corners, I done seen them, so I watch their film, so I'm watching them go against them type of guys to see how I need to play them. And there ain't too many guys that stop them two.
Yeah.
It's not. And I don't know how he didn't get first ballot. He should have been first ballot.
I know. He should have been.
I don't know what it was. Calvin was first ballot for them, though. No, that's the tough one. That's tough. Him and Calvin was tough. So
Shout out to Dre, man. We appreciate you, too.
Oh, yeah.
That's why I was pissed. Well, not pissed because I was rooting for you, too, when Hop went to the Chiefs. I'm like, finally, he got himself a quarterback. Then they didn't throw my guy at the fucking ball ever. We'll get to that.
Yeah, we gonna show you though.
Where did you get where did Big Play Slay eventually develop? When that D Wade moment come? I'm Big Play Slay. How did that come about?
So what's funny is I got that name in college from my college coach. He gave it to me, so I brought it to the league, but nobody really calling me that because definitely in Detroit it was Big Play CJ Calvin, and Calvin was like, you know, they said like, hey, he don't get called that, but that's just what he, you know, could get called Megatron. So he didn't get called that, but it's like,
My fucking nickname is Megatron. Think about that.
You know what I'm saying? He got called Megatron. So I'm like, so when I came there, when I got drafted, I saw a whole bunch of tweets like, hey, Slay, you might have to change your name because there's only really one Big Play, and that's Big Play CJ. So I'm like, the fuck, Calvin name shit? So I go type his junk in. That was folks was kind of like, Big Play CJ. I'm like, damn, but I might have to, I know I ain't getting it now. I ain't getting it over Calvin. Like, Calvin is Megatron. But he always kept the Megatron going, and then I just started going by like heavy, like, cause I started off small, as in like, hey man, I just go by, Slay. You know what I'm saying? No,
It's Slay. Just Slay.
Slay.
Just Slay.
Slay. So no, not everybody were like Slay. Cause when I first got to Detroit, people was calling me Darius. I'm like, nah, bro, you ain't calling me that.
I saw that clip on was it Bleacher Report when they were doing the Super Bowl interviews.
Mm-hmm.
Darius is Slay. Darius, it's just Slay.
Because at that time, like Juggles was interviewing me, like I ain't answering your question. Like you say that, like folks be like, Mr. Darius. Even if you say Mr. Darius, I'm gonna be polite, be like, it's Slay. But if you say Darius again, I'm like, it's Slay. You can keep asking me a question. I'm not gonna answer it until you say, "Oh, I'm sorry."
But right Slay. There, that's a mentality in itself.
Yeah,
I'm
standing on that.
Yeah,
yeah.
This is who I am.
It's who I am. You know what I'm saying? So that's how that. Then it got built up, and then it really stuck out after like my third year in the league. I started making a lot more plays, and I started traveling as a corner.
Okay.
So now now I'm on TV getting circled up like Slay going against this guy this week. Slay getting on doing the game now like on a little commercial, not little commercial break, like little breaks they have between halftime or whatever. They just showing my reps of going against receivers. We just going at it or whatever, catching ball. And one dude was like, that's big play Slay, right? And that's why he making them plays. So then he said it, then it started sticking. And now it's just like it's global now, and that's crazy.
And big play Slay. You know why that's famous? Because that is what LeBron shouted out to Slay. Big play Slay. Slay goes to me like, damn, motherfucker knew my name.
Yeah, bro.
Like,
I ain't
be playing Madden.
He be playing that Madden. I'm like, that's crazy. Like I said, I'm a Kobe guy for sure. There's not no doubt about it. But I always consider he's a great. And for him to know, like, big play Slay was crazy. And then, like you say, Kobe, when I met Kobe, he was the same way.
Get to. What was it like meeting Kobe, that interaction? And then when we met LeBron, both of them had aura. What did you take away from it, from either one of those guys?
Oh, what I took away from it, that you can see that Kobe definitely is more like, to me, Kobe just more to him, like, he don't got no time like that. He cool with meet and greets, but like, it gonna be somebody he want to meet. You know what I'm saying? Not guys that got passes, that can be slick. You might get lucky, he might take a picture. So it's like, he like guys that he got back there that he kind of want to meet, or if there's some kind of guy that he know of or heard of or just got a lot of respect for. So when I first met him, you could sense that he kind of like watched football. You could sense that he kind of like, I know of this kid. And so I'm like, dang. Because he came around the corner, like everybody trying to take pictures, everybody trying to holler at him, walk right by him, like, what up, Slay? So I'm like,
Kobe said that to you?
Yeah, I'm like,
damn.
At the combine, I met with the Redskins.
Okay.
And Steve Spurrier was the coach at the time. And he was like, you got away from me in high school, but I ain't going to let you get away from me in the NFL. So, and I'm sitting on the thing, and they was like, oh, shit. Like, so Washington had the 4th pick.
Okay.
But they traded with the Jets. So they was like, the Jets traded up to the 4th pick, and I can hear it on the headset before it was actually announced on TV. And so I was just like, well, damn, I'm going to probably be going to the Jets. Mm-hmm. So I originally thought I was going to go to Washington because of what Steve Spurrier told me. So, but when the trade happened, I thought I was going to end up going to the Jets.
Who were the 2 picks that were in front of you that year? Who was in that?
Carson Palmer was the number 1 overall pick.
Okay.
God rest his soul, Charles Rogers was the 2nd pick, and then I was 3rd.
Nice. What was that like getting that phone call? Because we all see that there's an image, Aaron, of him. I think you're on your flip phone. You had a T-Mac jersey on, right? Yeah. And then you getting that call. What was that feeling like being with your family and finally like making it?
It's crazy because like, so when the Texans got on the clock, so they called me and it was like, hey, we're on the clock. You know, there's a possibility that we can take you. And they just hang up the phone. So you just basically waiting. Mm-hmm. And so it was known for Miami guys not to participate in off-season workouts at the time. So they called me back and it was like, it was the receiver coach, Kippy Brown. He calls me, and so the phone rings. I'm thinking like it's the phone call for the pick. So he calls me. He's like, "Are you gonna bring your ass to off-season workouts?" And I was like, "Yeah, like, you know." But it was a known thing for Miami guys, not because we were training back home in Miami. So I was like, "Yeah, man, I'm coming to off-season workouts or whatever." And he was like, "All right." And he hung up the phone. And then I got a phone call again. And when they called, it was the head coach. It was Dom Capers. And he was like, "Hey, man, we're going to take you, you know, with this pick." So that was probably it. As a kid, you know, like growing up, you just like, damn, man, like I want to play in the NFL. Because it was always my dream. Like I grew up right around, well, it's Hard Rock now. It was Joe Robbie when I was growing up. I could literally stand in my front yard. They've done so many renovations to the stadium, but I could literally stand in my grandmother's front yard and see the Jumbotron at the time of, you know, the Dolphin Stadium. And I used to literally like stand in the front yard and I'd just be like, man, I'm going to play in that stadium one day.
Take me back in time. And what was it like in that moment at the U of work ethic, swagger, camaraderie, and then we can get to the Houston Texans and stuff.
At the University of Miami, man, those were like the best days of my life. Like, I never had been around so many guys that was so competitive about everything. Like, it was crazy, man. Like, we could be shooting marbles. Like, it was competitive. It was a lot of shit talking. But it brought the best out of you. Another thing I would say, like, it was never a person, like, if you wasn't doing shit right, we didn't have to rely on the coaches. You'll get called out by players, and they'll tell you, like, you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing, or, you know, you need to do this or you need to do that. And it created a bond that you'll never ever experience it again, you know. So those guys I played with, man, like our summer workouts, running them 110s, running 200s, like
this is Miami Heat. Yes. This is Miami Heat in the summertime, by the way, people.
So we pushed each other, man, to like either you was gonna do it or you was gonna get your ass beat. And it was period, like point blank. Like you didn't have to rely on the coaches. The players handled everything. But it pushed you to become, like, we all wanted to see each other become better. And that was it was a hell of a thing, man, to experience. And I tell people, like, words can't really describe it. You had to be there to see it. At the end of the day, I love the game, but I can't say it's the same, because I think you'll see certain times where things, like, to me, the regular season is the regular season. Things pick up, you know, because in the playoffs, because things matter then. You know? But I think now guys are they could be a little bit too friendly.
And soft, right?
Yeah.
They
complain about everything.
Yeah, I can't push people, right?
Yeah.
Oh, that's just too hard. Oh, that's too much. I'm sitting there, what?
Yeah. So I tell people this too. Like, when I came in the league, I got to experience both sides of it. So when I came in the league, we was still doing 2-a-days and all that. And then I got the experience, like, when some of the rules and stuff got changed.
Okay.
I always say now, if I was to come in the league now, I'd probably play 20 years.
Why do you
say
say
that?
They don't
practice.
Okay.
They don't do 2-a-days. Like, it's the easiest shit. Like, everything is so... I mean, I get it. The athletes... I do think the athletes are bigger, faster, stronger now than, you know, when I first came in. But I just feel like it's so soft now. Like, there's so many things that... And which I get, like, it takes time for your body to recover and things of that nature. But I just feel like the game is kind of gotten like when I came in the league, you go across the middle, man, you get your head knocked off. Now,
pull that highlight up for that. We got some.
Now, it's legal hits to the head,
Yeah.
this, that, the other. So, I get it. I understand. They want to make the game safer. So, that's part of it.
You brought that up. What about the? Are you a proponent of the NIL stuff? What's your vision? I think you're obviously happy that the guys are getting paid.
Yeah,
It's a good thing. But I've seen some issues with it. At least from what I'm looking at. For example, man, if you're Andre Johnson at the University of Miami in that era, how much money are you making?
I don't think they had enough money.
You know what? That's a dub. And because Dre's here, we're going to take another shot of tequila over that. Tell me, there's 2 or 6. There's number 2.
You know what's funny, man? Me and my mom even talk about that. My mom was like, if they had NILs when you guys was in school, she was like, I don't think they have enough money to pay you guys. So, yeah, it was too many guys, and I don't think there would have been enough money to pay everybody. But I love that these guys are getting money now.
Yeah.
Like, I really, really, because they generate so much money for the school.
I get
so I'm definitely excited that they are getting money. My one thing I would say, even though they're getting money at a young age, I just hope they don't lose focus of what the main goal is. And
What's the main goal?
if it's getting to the NFL, whatever it is, I don't know what everybody's goal is. I know my goal was to make it to the NFL. Because, man, it's a hell of a thing, man. You making more money than your damn college football coach. Like, that's crazy, you know. But at the end of the day, I think, you know, like I said, as long as they keep the main thing, man, it'll be all right.
What was it that eventually got you to Houston and you know where you're at now? And I want people to know Gary is pretty into fitness. If you don't follow his stories, with now that we're training you and stuff, did you ever take that role into fitness so serious because of the schedule that was kind of going through your life, or what was it that made you come to Houston? What was it that got you into that fitness routine, and why have you stayed with it? And then obviously the plunges and all that moving forward.
A girl got me to Houston.
Okay.
I could BS. Pussy. That's what brought me to Houston. That's I can live here. When the people asked in the beginning, they was like, "Yo, there's no taxes, cost of living." No, it was her. That's why I moved here. I've always been like, I think Wendy Williams said it best. She always said, like, Gary, you look like you're in shape, but you really like a steak. That was the perfect way to describe my build.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because where I'm at in my life, there's no real, like, goal. I don't have a goal when I work out. It's just to be healthy, to live. I want to be able to, like, you know, because I've had 3 ACL reconstructions and then 2 scopes. So I've had 5 surgeries on this knee. So I know what it's like to be not able to move around.
Yeah.
So just like staying active, and so many people in my business, man, when they let themselves go bad. And I go, I just don't want to be that dude. I just want to be healthy. I don't want to be disgusting when people see me, you know. But that's pretty much why I just work out, just to survive.
Well, I'm curious too because I feel like Kevin Hart, he's another workout warrior.
Yeah.
And then I think Marlon Wayans, he's gotten into working out. It's like
Those guys are different though. The Wayans brothers, shooting Little Man with them. They eat weird. Like they had like avocado pudding. Cause I remember they was all eating like chocolate pudding one day. Keenan, Sean, and Marlon was all. I go, where'd you guys get the pudding? Because I'm sitting here like we were shooting in Vancouver. And we had most sets when you go to lunch, they have the food. It's like a food truck, and everybody just eats. But the Wayans had their own food truck, right? I go, what's that? And they was on some, I don't want to say weird, just different health kick at that point. Because I don't even want to say diet. Like, that was their lifestyle. And they were eating, like, only fish sourced from that region type deal. And then I remember seeing all 3 of them eat pudding. I was like, where you gotta get the pudding. Because I was like, I know that ain't pudding. And they go, no, it's avocado pudding. I go, shut up. So then they were like, you want some? I go, I do. It was pretty good. It wasn't as good as regular chocolate pudding. It was decent.
I don't know if I could do
But
it.
they've always been, I always felt like the Wayans has always been ahead of the game nutrition-wise.
Okay.
Like, I remember one time I saw Marlon taking these green pills. I've seen them at some of the Whole Food stores. I go, what's that? He goes, if you're ever going to drink or you feel like you're going to be dehydrated, he goes, take these green things. He goes, and it takes care of it. And I was like, oh. And it did. Like, I started taking them, and I don't drink that much anymore, but every time I was feeling anything, I'd take them. I can't remember what it was. That was like 10 years ago. I always feel like they're ahead of everybody.
Yeah, they all look good.
And they all look good. That's why, yeah.
So I was just wondering, like, all you comedians are turning into fitness, which is what I love, because these guys' schedule is crazy. So he's you're traveling, what, every weekend, basically?
Yeah.
Every weekend traveling. There's no set schedule. Even now he's got kids and twins, and he's got to make the workout, and I'm surprised he's even here. I got to get this thing rolling because he's got about a show tonight. It's just cool that you guys are into fitness, and it's going to help your longevity because your schedule is not easy at all.
I always wonder what it would be like if I could just be in one place for like 6 months.
Oh, it'd be a whole different.
Because I'm always gone, and then here's my problem with hotel gyms. They're so cold.
Oh yeah.
Like I walk in, I'm like, I'm not about to work out in here. I'm freezing. One time it was funny. I was at, I don't know, Marriott somewhere, and this old lady was in the gym, and it was freaking freezing in there. And so I'm just looking for some camaraderie. I go, is it cold in here? She goes, once you start working out, it won't be. I was like, what, you old hag? Almost like, get to work, and you'll feel the heat. I was like, what? I just walked away. I go, I'm just going to go over and do some push-ups. This is stupid.
Yeah, the hotel gyms are for the birds. We got to design Congo home gyms.
Yeah, for real.
I'm serious. The fitness, that's where like fitness is going right now. And I bring that up too because I feel like, again, I didn't know you were in Houston or anything. It was David Alexander from Miami at DBC. He introduced
That's my dude.
us. Yeah. And what was it? Because I felt like you've been at a handful of places. What was it? Obviously, it was David's recommendation, but why? What made you like love Congo and then obviously kept coming back? And I feel like it's a part of your life and routine now.
Yeah. Oh, well, I had a couple different trainers when I first got to Houston, and then one just stopped doing it.
Okay.
And I was like, oh. And then I said, I need somebody with flexible hours too because, I might want to come in at 5 a.m.
Got it.
Or I might want to come in at 5 p.m. So I need somebody I needed a gym, so when first day I went there, I was like, oh, you're trying to show off, but man, I threw up that day one, bro. I was like, oh, this is different. And then the few people I've recommended that have come through, they call me like, dude, what are we training for there? And everybody says the same thing. Like, you guys be like, yeah, do this for 20. I go, you better get a good 18, baby. I don't like the white dude, Cole, because he counts. I'll get done. He goes, no, I was only 9. I go, fuck you, Cole. Nobody's doing 20 for 4 cents. Like, I'll be looking around looking for your brother, be like this. Ain't nobody looking. I'm going to cut this off at 16. Then I'll be like this. You get all 20? I did. Yeah.
Fuck you, Cole. No one likes you, Cole.
Yeah, right. Stop counting, bro. I feel like when I'm on the Versa Climber, he's like 200 yards. I'll be looking around like, I'm at 160. I could probably slow this down. There's Cole. 40 more yards, bro. Where the fuck did you come from?
It's funny. He sees that, but that motherfucker can't hear to save his life, Gary. I hear 4 people yelling his name, and I'm over by the therapy table stretching him, and he still can't hear him, and I go help the person.
Yeah, right?
God damn. Well, it's obviously, we love having you, and I'm glad you've made it a staple in coming with us. So it just goes back to like, just knowing of you as kids and now having you in our gym. And then it was pretty cool. Bacha and Cole, they got to go to your show last night. And they said you were wearing the Congo shirt. And
that one? No, I was wearing the wild one, the dead guy.
Iron Maiden,
the dead guy. Yeah.
So you've always showed support. We never asked you to do it. It always means a lot that you do that.
We talking about teams. Basketball is a team sport. So imagine going through all that with your teammates. Mm-hmm. That's the thing. Like, at Texas, we went through all this shit together. Like the Rick Barnes story I told you about, the Coach Ty getting us up early and we get class and study hard and back to practice. Like, we doing this as a group. So we going through all the same stuff together. I'm helping you out when I see you down or something happen back home with your family or you missing your mama. We 18 years old. Like I used to cry my first couple of weeks. Every time I woke up at 5, I cried, bro. Cause I knew what my day was about to be like. I was about to have to run suicides and fucking go to class for 8 hours, then go to study. I'm not gonna see my bed again till 10 o'clock tonight. I used to cry, bro. But then I was like, fuck it. I know where I'm trying to go. You know what I'm saying? But we doing all this together. So when we getting them tough games together, we leaning on each other. Like, KD know I ain't about to fold. I know he ain't about to fold. You know what I'm saying? So So it's like, you know, when you do it with a group of people, it make a difference too.
Especially when you're down 3-1 and we don't join the other team. We come back and defeat the team on their home court.
You
Rockets
crazy,
couldn't
bro.
get it done. Just saying. But yeah, that was cool, man. So you were what draft class were you when you got drafted?
I was 08, I think.
First round, second. What were you?
I was the 9th pick. Bro, do your goddamn research.
Hey man, that's why you on here. Hey, I'm not the research guy in the sense of this is the real research, getting the real raw authentic cash.
I was top 10.
Hey
dog.
boy, DJ could have been somebody. I mean, he was somebody. Big dub, man. You said ninth
I was
pick.
the 9th pick. Yeah.
Where at? Was that the
Charlotte. I was
Charlotte? That's what it was.
It was
Bobcats.
It was D Rose, Mike Beasley. It was either OJ Mayo. I think it was OJ. Mike Beasley went to Miami. OJ Mayo. You know Mike Beasley.
Yeah, why am I tripping? It Mike Beasley.
Left hand, Mike Beasley.
Yeah, I'm tripping. Yeah, I got you.
OJ Mayo went 3. Eric Gordon went 4 to the Clippers, I think. 5 was Kevin Love. 6. I still remember this draft. It's crazy. 6 was who was 6?
Oh, okay, Aaron.
Gallinari.
Danilo
Gallinari.
Gallo went to the Knicks, right?
Real quick before you go to the next one, so before we lose train of thought, we're talking about Danilo Gallinari.
Oh, we gonna lose.
Danilo Gallinari draft. Before we got his draft pick, Danilo Gallinari ruined my life. You know why?
That's my boy.
Because this is when I was a big time Nuggets fan because growing up Denver was next to Wyoming and Carmelo and all that Chauncey, all those guys, and that's when they made that trade. I'll have to do my research on this one. I should remember it, but that's when they traded Carmelo and it was Carmelo and Chauncey. They went to New York, and New York's getting their ass kicked. Fuck. Carmelo Anthony and Chauncey Billups traded in New York, and that broke my heart because Chauncey Billups and Melo are right there, right there. Obviously, Kobe was in the way, but I really think they could have done it with that team. And then that's when we got Danilo Gallinari and Costa Koufis and all these guys. And they just thought Eddie Nahara, they thought that was going to be the team.
They probably was trying to go young.
Yeah.
The guys you name, and they were young at the time. And Chauncey and them was kind of getting older. So
did you know Chauncey?
I know Chauncey. I played against Chauncey. I know Chauncey.
Shout out to Chauncey.
Chauncey, good dude.
I never really got to meet you, but my sister used to nanny for them. You knew that?
Yeah, I think Taj told me.
Oh, yeah. So, love Chauncey. Chauncey shouldn't have been traded out of Denver. Denver should have been his home. You guys could have won a championship. I think they would have. But yeah, that's the story of Danilo Gallinari. They were looking at him to be the guy.
Yeah, Gallo was like that, bro.
That's the shit they said, but he couldn't deliver.
He got hurt.
And then the Nuggets were never the same. And then, Shaq went to Cleveland. That's the LeBron story. Shaq went to Cleveland. And when Shaq went to Cleveland, that's when I became a LeBron fan. It was because of Shaq.
Yeah.
And then I was like, oh.
Gallo could play, bro.
Gallo
could play.
So
Gallo was 6.
Oh, 6. Okay.
6. 7 was
Eric Gordon.
Eric went 7?
Yep.
So who went 4?
4 was Russell Westbrook.
Russ. I forgot Russ.
Damn, you were in that class.
Yeah, so let me start over.
Kevin Love.
Let me start over. Let me start over. So
DJ?
It was D Rose, Beasley, OJ Mayo, Russ, Kevin Love, Gallo, EG. Don't tell me. So this dude, he was also a great. He was just a great athlete, dog. He went to West Virginia. What's his name, man? Go ahead, tell me. Joe Alexander. You probably don't even know him.
I don't know Joe Alexander.
Joe could shoot, hops. I think he played volleyball too, like sand volleyball, whatever. But he went 8, and then I went 9. Brooke Lopez went 10, and that was it.
It's a great draft class, bro.
Yeah, so So yeah, and the crazy shit about that is, I don't know how familiar you are with the draft process, but you know, when you about to get drafted, you go work out for teams, right? I only worked out for 4 teams that's going into the draft. I worked out for the Knicks, the Clippers, Phoenix, and I know I love Arizona, bro. Nice. And another team I can't remember. So I only worked out for 4 teams. Sacramento. I worked out for 4 teams.
Okay.
So the night of the draft, my agent comes to my table and he like, I'm in the green room. He comes to my table and he like, hey DJ, so this was about to happen. Indiana's gonna pick you at 11 and trade you to Sacramento at 12 because Sacramento really wants you. They need a point guard, right? So I'm like, cool. I know where I'm going. We shake hands. I start telling my family. So they get on the thing. I'm sitting back. They get on the thing with the 9th pick in the NBA draft. The Charlotte Bobcats select DJ Augustine. I look at I'm like, what the fuck? Like, we looking around like, and they was like, come on. I'm like, oh shit.
So you really didn't know
I ain't know
Bobcats.
Never worked out for him. My phone ring. It's MJ. It's MJ. It's Larry Brown.
Damn.
Calling me.
Damn.
Welcome to the team. Like, but I'm still in shock because I literally thought I was going to the Kings. I made my mind. I'm gonna be with the Kings, and so that's my little crazy draft story. But yeah, I went 9th pick in the top 10.
What was that relationship? We had Dre on last couple episodes ago talking about that relationship with Michael Jordan.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of that, another side story. So we were talking about Jordan. That's what we're gonna get to.
Yeah.
I met. He goes by the name of Worldwide West.
Uncle West.
Okay, Uncle West.
Uncle West.
So mind you, DJ, I'm a fan. I really don't know a lot about like the important stuff that people would know.
Mm-hmm.
So me and Dre talking about this stuff, and we're talking about obviously Dre knows I'm a LeBron guy. We're drinking it was Jordan's tequila. That's what I was trying to bring over here when I was looking for it. And after the show, he put me on FaceTime with this guy. He said, "Dose, tell him who you think the best player is." And then he's going back and forth with me about Jordan. And then Dre takes the phone from me. He's like, "Dose." He's like, "Oh, he don't even know who he's talking to."
Yeah.
I said, "Yeah, I don't give a fuck about that."
Uncle West, dog. He the man, bro.
So he was obviously now know who he is.
Yeah.
His ties with Jordan.
He ties with everybody.
Anyways, we need that. Are you supposed to send us the Jordan tequila?
Uncle West?
Yeah.
Uncle West.
So Uncle West supposed to send us the Jordan tequila. I'm going to send you this again. I know your phone's always busy, but
That's my guy.
we got to get the tequila. But yeah, we were talking about
Charlotte, Michael Jordan.
Oh yeah, did you end up getting a relationship with him as that, or was it just one of those things?
Yeah, nah.
How long did you play for the Bobcats?
I'm gonna tell you this too. You probably don't know this. I was one of the first ever rookies to sign with Jordan Brand. I was in Charlotte for 4 years.
Okay.
They drafted Kemba
Walker.
Yeah.
Step back. Bam.
Yeah. So then me and Kemba actually played together, but then my contract was about to be up, and they didn't want to, the negotiations didn't go as planned. So I ended up going to signing with Indiana on a 1-year deal. And then that year with Indiana, we made it to the conference finals. We lost to Miami. So LeBron had that block on Paul George. If he wouldn't have blocked that shit, we'd have been in the finals. I swear to God.
Yeah, that's what Andre Iguodala said too.
Yeah, for sure. So
yeah, Slay.
Yeah.
Slay out of all the people in the world thinks Paul George is the GOAT.
PG my guy.
I know, that's why I brought it up.
I don't talk about. I told you, he's my guy. I don't know who to go to. Everybody got their own GOAT. PG my guy though. He could play.
Blocked by James.
But if he wouldn't have blocked that, we'd have won that series and we'd have been in the finals. And we might have would have won. We had a good team, bro. We had a good team.
No, you were.
We had David West, Roy Hibbert, PG, Danny Granger, George Hill, Lance Stevenson. We had a deep bench.
They all said the East was weak. That doesn't sound like a weak
team.
Nuh-uh.
No, sir. So we was pretty good. Then from there, I signed with Toronto on a 1-year deal.
Okay.
Kyle, Rudy Gay. We wasn't that good at that time. Dwayne Casey was our coach.
Didn't LeBron ruin the Toronto Dreams after that too?
Not that year.
That year.
We wasn't that good that year I was there. So we wasn't that good. I kind of fell out the rotation. I guess whatever reason Dwayne Casey didn't like me. So I ended up Toronto actually cut me. They released me.
Oh damn.
Yeah. So
this is year 8.
No. This is 4, 5, 6. This is my 6th year.
Okay, 6th year.
So this is my first taste of adversity in the NBA.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like obviously my contract situation with Charlotte kind of was something. You know what I'm saying? Because I was expecting to sign an extension and all that. But you know, it is what it is. But this was my first, like, I got released. Like, technically I'm not an NBA player. And my wife was pregnant with my son at the time. So we got my daughter who's 2 or 1.5, and my wife is pregnant with my son, my oldest son. So now I get released and I'm like, fuck, I got I got a kid and one on the way. Now I'm out the league, technically out the league. But again, I kept working, I kept doing my thing, and it was only lasted like a day. My agent called me the next day and was like, hey, Chicago want to sign you for the rest of the season. D Rose just went down towards ACL. This is the second time he tore it. So this is the second time he tore his ACL. Chicago need a point guard. They only got Marcus Teague right now and Kirk Heinrich. They need a point guard for the remainder of the season.
Heinrich was nice though.
Kirk liked that. So
Kirk Heinrich or Austin Reeves?
Kirk, man, they two different players, but Kirk a dog.
Okay.
Kirk might be black, just to be real with you. Okay. He ain't white, I don't think. But anyway, so one day I got released. A day went by, I ended up signing with Chicago. I had to fly to Chicago. Right away, Tibbs throw me in the game, 30 minutes. All right, so I'm in Toronto. I'm not really playing. I'm not playing at all. But TJ Ford, I've been rocking with TJ since I was in high school. And TJ told me, like, hey, don't just sit around and do nothing. Like, get there early, work out, do what you gotta do. After practice, play against the equipment guys or the managers or the assistant coaches, like whoever want to play one-on-one full court. That way you in shape. That way you prepare your game tight if you get another opportunity. He told me that. I tell him to this day, bro, thank you. Because if I wouldn't have did that shit, I would have been out of there. Tibbs threw me right in the fire, bro. I got cut and I was there the next day in Chicago playing 28 minutes, 30 minutes a game.
Love it.
But I was ready because I did what TJ told me. So anyway, I killed. Long story short, I killed. Chicago was in 10th place when I got there. We was in the fifth spot in the playoffs after I got there. We lost to Washington in the first round. And I played so good that Detroit signed me to a 2-year deal. Detroit Pistons signed me to a 2-year deal after that season. So bam, I'm in Detroit. I'm in there for 1 year. Okay. Brandon Jennings goes down. I was backing him up. I was backing Brandon up. Brandon goes down. I start. We was losing. We was losing not because of Brandon, but we just wasn't a really good team. But we losing. Once I started starting, I'm averaging 20 and 10 a game. Really? We start winning.
Nice, TJ.
We start winning. But I always did that, bro. Like, whenever I got an opportunity, I did my thing. Like, you know, and that's why another reason I think I stuck around so long, because people always knew whenever we need somebody, DJ gonna come through. Like, you know what I'm saying? So, but anyway, so I'm killing, right? I'm killing. We winning. We about to be in the playoffs now. We out the playoffs because we just trash, but then we start winning. So then I'm like, trade deadline come around, and I'm like, ain't no way I'm gonna get traded. I'm playing too good. We winning. Like, my agent called me. Like, hey, I think they're gonna trade you tomorrow to the Oklahoma City Thunder. He was like, if you don't hear from me by tomorrow, because we had practice the next day. If you don't hear from me tomorrow, you good. So I practice. I don't hear from him. I'm about to get in the shower. I'm trying to wait, but it's like 2:59. The deadline at 3. So by like 2:59, I'm like, man, I ain't getting traded, man. I go take my shower. This shit funny. I come out the shower, I got my towel, dry myself. All my teammates in the locker room looking at me like this. I'm like, what? They're like, you just got traded at 3 o'clock. At 3, damn, they traded me at 3 o'clock on the dot, bro. So I got traded to OKC. Then, you want me to keep going?
Yeah.
Then I get to OKC.
OKC, that was
KD, Russ. Right? KD was hurt. KD was there, but he was hurt. He had a foot injury.
Okay.
Serge, Deion Waiters, Kyle Singler. James wasn't there.
Okay, James wasn't there.
So I get there halfway through the end of that season, and I play good. Coming into next season, I want to be there because it's a good team. Mm-hmm. Like, I'm there with my boy KD, me and Russ cool. Like, I love the environment. Oklahoma really takes care of their players. Like, it's a real... I see why they doing well now, because they take care of their guys.
I got the Nuggets winning that series, though.
Yeah, so I want to be there. So I'm showing them I want to be there. I'm going summertime. They had something in LA, like for all the players, like a mini camp. I go there. Like, I'm showing y'all I want to be here. And so I'm still under contract. Remember, I signed that 2 year with Detroit. So that carried over to Oklahoma. Mm-hmm. So coming into that season, they drafted Cameron Payne that summer. Right? So start the season. Cam my boy. But it is what it is. It's competition. So start the season.
Talking shit when he was with the Suns.
I start the season. I'm killing, bro. I'm killing. But sometimes that doesn't matter. That's what people don't understand. When the team or the organization has their mind made up of this what they're gonna do,
Luka.
it don't matter what you do as a player. They're gonna find a way to to make it look like. So this I'm saying all to say I'm killing. We winning.
Doing everything supposed
I
to do.
had one bad game. Billy Donovan called me in the office. I'm like, what's up? He like, yeah, I think we struggled a lot with the second unit the last game. I'm like, okay, like nigga, that one game. I'm averaging 12 points off the bench. Yeah, but I think we're gonna go a different direction and try Cameron out. And I already knew what it was. I'm in my 8th year in the league. I know how this shit go. Y'all just drafted him 14th in the lottery. I knew it was coming. So and they was waiting for me to have one bad game to do it.
Yeah, damn.
So when I said, that's fucked up, Billy, but it's cool, bro. Do what y'all gotta do. So I'm not playing at all now. And I'm a free agent. So I took matters in my own hands. This is my 7th, 8th year. My agent like, you want me to ask for a trade? You know, I said, you know what, bro? Like, I'm gonna do it. Fuck it. So I went to Troy Weaver, who was the assistant GM at the time. And me and Troy, we knew each other just from being around the league. Black dude, cool dude, you know what I'm saying? So I went to him first. And I told him, like, Troy, bro, like, I got a family, dog. Like, how they did me is wrong. I need y'all to trade me because I'm a free agent this summer. I gotta do what I gotta do so I can get picked up this summer. Because this, you know, it's not, obviously y'all not playing me.
Yeah.
He like, DJ, I already know, man. You know, but I'm gonna be real with you. You need to go talk to Sam Presti. You need to go talk to Sam yourself, you know, da-da-da-da. So I said, cool, I'm gonna go talk to Sam.
Sam Presti, this is OKC?
It's OKC.
Okay.
So my back against the wall, really, literally. So I'm not even want my agent to be involved. I'm like, I'm gonna do it. So I holler at Sam, like, Sam, you know, I'm coming to you, bro. Like, I got 2 kids. I'm a free agent this summer. I'm not playing. I need to go somewhere where I can play.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I gotta go somewhere where I can play, or I'm gonna be out the league. He like, DJ, this is exactly what he told me. DJ, my heart is telling me to trade you, but my mind is telling me not to. I know we're gonna need you in the playoffs. I said, Sam, you think I'm gonna get in the playoff game after not playing all season and play well? I said, I'm not even playing. Like, you can't just throw me in the playoffs and then that's not gonna do anything for me this summer. So he like, let me just think about it. You know, the All-Star weekend was coming up. So he like, let me think about it over the break, and you know, I'll see you when you get back. So I went home. Me and my wife, we packed all our shit. Like, I swear to God, we packed everything, loaded our cars up, because I'm like, they better trade me, or I'm gonna go crazy. And so we get back, and it was always the deadline was always at 3:00 around this time. They just changed it recently, like in the past two years. So we always had practice before the deadline when you get back from the break. You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So I'm like, all right, I'm gonna practice. Same thing like in Detroit. I'm gonna practice. I better be traded after this practice. So I practice, get in the locker room, and I get traded. Me and Steve Novak, we got traded to I went to Denver. I don't know where Steve went. It was like a 3-team trade. No, not Reggie Jackson. He was in a Detroit trade. But anyway, so I get traded to Denver. Jameer Nelson is hurt at the time, so I come in right away and play behind Emmanuel Mudiay.
Damn, Jameer was with the Nuggets, huh?
He was hurt. Jameer was hurt.
Yeah, I remember, man. Okay.
So they didn't have a point guard, so they traded for me. I come in behind Emmanuel. I'm killing again. I always did it, bro. I come in killing. Mike Malone loved me.
They were really banking on that Emmanuel guy.
Yeah. It came to a point where, and Emmanuel, my boy, it came to a point where they was thinking about starting me over Emmanuel, but they couldn't because they just drafted him. But that's how it goes.
Yeah.
People don't understand. They think, oh, this guy's not playing. Or he sucks. And nah, it's politics now. So I played so well that season with Denver. I signed my 4-year deal. That was my biggest deal. My 4-year deal with Orlando.
Boom.
So
Brookwood University got you.
So I went through 5 or 6 years of 1-year deals, getting cut, getting traded, behind, not playing, starting, not. And I signed my big deal.
What kept you here?
Just like I told you from the beginning, I don't have no plan B.
Yeah.
Now I got 2 kids. I got one on the way. I ain't going overseas.
What was that was your big contract, right?
Orlando, 4 years, 4 years, 30. 4 years, 30.
And then that was the Dwight Howard team, right?
Orlando, no. That was Vucevic. They had Evan Fournier.
Alfred
Payton. Aaron Gordon.
Aaron Gordon, that's who it is. Aaron Gordon.
Yep.
4 years there, and then what was after that?
So I was there all 4 years, which was a blessing because I haven't been stable since Charlotte.
You performed there, yeah?
I played great. And so I was a little disappointed too there because I thought Orlando was gonna sign me, extend me. You know, I wanted to finish my career in Orlando. Cause I just loved Orlando. I love Florida, the weather. You got Disney World.
Got them Gators in Florida.
You got Gators. Hey, one time it had a freeze in Florida, right? This shit was so crazy. It was a freeze. Bruh, iguanas was just falling out the trees, just falling, hitting people, falling on your car, on your hood of your car, like drive. Yeah, it was crazy. Yeah, so anyway, I was in Orlando 4 years. I loved Orlando. Great teammates, great coaches. I played great. We made it to the playoffs for the first time against Toronto. I hit the game winner against Toronto.
You're gonna have to put that one up.
Yeah, so that was my favorite team, you know, city to live in. And then from there, I signed a 3-year deal with Milwaukee. So I signed another good contract with Milwaukee, 3 years. And then from Milwaukee, I got traded to Houston. I was there for 2 years, here for 2 years. And then I was in between retiring and playing. Lakers called me. I didn't want to go. I'm going to be honest with you. I didn't want to go. Because at the time, they was on ESPN every day on some negative shit.
Every day, man. Trust me, I was in this room watching it.
I didn't want to go.
Every day.
I didn't want to go, but my agent kind of talked me into it. My wife was like, "Just go. You know, it's only 5 weeks. You know, what could come? You know, nothing bad could come out of this." My agent was like, "Man, you know, you're going to LA. It's a good stage to go. You know, you never know what could happen." So I was like, "All right, I'll go." So I went. You know, good. You know, good guys. You know, it just wasn't. I knew what it was before I got there. And that was like the kind of like the final straw. Like, all right, it's over for me.
The Ring of Honor.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think DeAndre Hopkins should be included into the Ring of Honor? That can be the Q&A or the yes percentage.
Hey, man. Hey, I didn't say it, but, you know, I'm not going to say I don't think about that as well. You know, I am human, of course. You know, I love Houston. I still live here. My family live here. So, you know, of course, that would be cool, man. You know, just to be in the Houston Ring of Honor one day. Shit. Even though I only played, 7 years here?
Yeah, but those 7 years.
That's short, man. That's not a long time to be on the team, man.
That was 7 years. Let's put it this way.
I don't know, man. You know, now I think about it. Do I deserve to be in the Ring of Honor? Shit.
Let's put it this way. When I go out, if I ever go out or I walk around, I still see a lot of DeAndre Hopkins jerseys and I see Andre Johnson jerseys.
Yeah.
I don't see a new wave of jerseys. So, in my opinion, because of that, that's where I think we should be at.
I hear you.
But yeah, it's cool the fact that I've been able to train Dre, and then we've been able to train you. Like, it's just a blessing because, you know, we talk about greatness at its highest level, and that's you, that's him, and I'm blessed enough to be able to work around greatness, and if I can push greatness to be even better, I've accomplished what I'm supposed to do on this earth.
Thank you, man, and you're doing a good job at it. You know, not just for guys like ourselves, but man, just you know, the Olivia's, who is, you know, one of the best people that, you know, that's been around, you know, just my camp, but she helps me with my, you know, interior design.
Yeah.
But you guys train her,
Yep.
so, you know, just seeing that dynamic, it's like, man, not just us, but y'all better your community, which is awesome to see, man.
Yeah, we are. We've built a great community, and I think it's always cool. Like when you come in, ironically, it's always like the busiest time, and it's like the energy is always at the right time and the right moment, and it's just cool to see. And then like you're a human too, so it's like you walk in, everyone else works harder, and then you're encouraging people, so it helps. And it's raw and organic. And we recently just he was in here, and he wanted everybody to do abs and to Eye of the Tiger until the song was up, and just. We broke it out and we did it, and it's just like that's the little stuff right there. You didn't have to do that, but you changed so many people's emotions in that gym that day.
Absolutely.
And inspiration and motivation, and then he went down there and did it. So that's the ultimate dub. And you know, you mentioned you know, Dre's mom, and you know, your mother has a special story. If you wouldn't mind sharing her story and how important of an influence she is in your life and your family's life.
Oh man, you know, my mom is. Shit, that's my best friend. You know, obviously having a dad that died at 6 months in a car accident. You know, my mom, shit, that's, you know, shit, that's my best friend. That's my mom and my dad. So, you know, that bond growing up has been something that has always been tight, even before her accident. And her accident was her being assaulted with acid. But, you know, even before then, man, you know, my mom was my biggest fan. My mom used to be at all the Little League games out there with her lawn chair. You know, the mom that's yelling and shit. And then obviously the accident happened. And, you know, it's just, you know, we just became tighter. But, yeah, she was assaulted with acid. And I was 10 years old, so 22 years ago, 23 years ago, something around there. But, you know, it never stopped her from being her. It only helped her become who she is now, and as a motivational speaker, someone who does charitable work all across the United States. She helps, you know, Congress people do certain things, you know. So her and I talking, it's cool to hear her say that I'm not sad that it happened.
Yeah.
You know, but more so, you know, I've gained appreciation for it allowing me to be who I am. And if you know her, she does a lot of work with nonprofits and domestic violence situations. So, you know, she feels that's her calling, and everything happened for a reason. So we're still working on ourselves as a family, but we are a lot better than where we were. And, you know, it's awesome to hear her say that, you know, just the appreciation that she has for everything happening to her, you know, and just, you know, understanding that everything happens for a reason.
You know, when you were at that age and that happened, was that a driving force for you to like, okay, I got to take care of moms, or I don't want this to ever happen to her? What was kind of going through your head at that point in time? And then when was the actual, because she can't see?
Yeah, she's blind.
She's blind.
Yeah, 100%.
So when you guys found that out, what was going through your head? What was going through her head? Because from an adversity standpoint, like, wow, you know, I lost my father. You know, my mom's can't ever see again now. And like, why is life happening to me? What's going on? Like, how did you persevere? What was going through your man and your mom's mind? And look, you know, by the grace of God, look at where you're at now.
Right. Yeah, man. When it first happened, I'll never forget it. Like yesterday, man. Just, you know, it's like I cried, and then right after I was like, all right, basically I'm a man, and you know, at 10 years old, I basically made a decision that I would never ask anybody for anything. And it's crazy, and ever since then, I never asked anybody for anything. And, you know, not proud of, you know, some things, you know, I've done, you know, just to be able to eat or just have food, or, you know, but I basically, you know, was like surviving on my own in a way, man, you know, because, you know, my grandmother, who was appointed to take care of us, you know, like, she's in a better place now, but back then she was addicted to crack cocaine. And so I couldn't depend on her to feed me. You know, I'm a young kid growing, you know, I'm 10, 11 years old. So for me, it was a survival instinctive mode that kicked in. And, you know, from like stealing food, sleeping, you know, on couches of like places, you know, rats and roaches, and, you know, like trap houses and gambling houses. But, you know, wherever I had to, like, you know, sleep or survive, it was like that's what I had to do, you know. And, of course, it wasn't easy, you know, going to school smelling bad, or, you know, not having, like, clean clothes because your mom not there, you know, and stuff like that. It wasn't easy, but I was just like, man, I got to survive, you know, like, I don't have anyone. Of course, you got family members who try to help, but it's like, you know, they're going through things themselves, so you don't really, you can't ask for people, you know, and to help you. And so, man, ever since I always say I was like 11, you know, man, nobody's ever paid for anything. My middle school shoes, my high school prom, my first car, you know, like, man, and yeah, it was crazy because I was like, you know, my mom was in a coma for like 6 months, I think, something like that.
Oh, when that happened, she was in a coma?
Yeah,
man.
And so, you know, of course, everybody thought that she wasn't gonna make it, and yeah, man, survival mode kicked in, and I have a younger sister. She went with her godparents, so she had somewhere to go. My older sister, she was in high school. She was actually at Oak Hill Academy, I think, at the time. We're going. She was older. She might not have been Oak Hill, but she was older, so she had a place to go, like with her girlfriend and stuff like that. And then I had a brother who was a little older than me. Him and I was kind of like, I would say, like the lost ones who was just like kind of like, dang, what do we do? You know, really kind of out here trying to survive on our own. You feel me? With no parents. You know, but my grandma, she tried. You know, she tried her best, and I give her that. You know, but it was hard, man. It was shit. So by the time I'm like 13, you know, I'm a grown man.
Man, for the first time though, hops on the team. He's gonna finally win a ring. It's gonna be a win-win, and the motherfucking Chiefs finally didn't get it done.
Hey,
God damn.
But who was the underdogs? Because I wasn't paying attention to that the media
Aaron?
that week. But who was the underdogs?
I think you guys were probably the underdogs.
Damn, for real?
Maybe.
Okay, all right.
But the thing is, it's
So
like,
damn, I thought people didn't fuck with the Chiefs.
but I think for that series, for that Super Bowl, they considered Philly the better team, so that's why you guys are the underdogs.
Mm-hmm.
But obviously, the dynasty of Mahomes and
Right.
the greatness of the Chiefs, like, you were supposed to win, and it's just like LeBron, man.
Okay, I get you saying. I get
Yeah.
you saying. There was like that magic, like
Yes, it's
like
the Chiefs.
fuck,
They're
right.
gonna win. This Tom Brady Patriots. They're gonna win.
That
It
makes
doesn't
sense.
matter.
That makes
So I'm like, man, Hop's finally on that team. Just like when LeBron gets somebody finally on that team, the motherfuckers don't win the championship. I'm like, damn, that would happen to me.
That's funny, boy. Well, shit, you got a big. I mean, look. Shout out to my boy Darius Slay, man. we was out there chopping it up. You know, at one point, we was like, fuck. Yeah, man.
And then when that happened, you didn't win, unfortunately. How was it playing with Mahomes and that Chiefs team, and what was the process? You know, obviously now you're with the Ravens.
Mm-hmm.
Where was that coming from, and what happened with the Chiefs?
Man, you know, obviously, shit, love my time there, but I think the way that the organization is going is not with an older receiver like myself.
Got
And,
it.
you know, man, look, I get it. I had no hard feelings. You know, shit, whatever, you know, people consider old or, you know, somebody who can't perform, like, I respect it. And, you know, that everybody has a perspective, and, you know, that's why, you know, they've won, and they're going to continue to win because, you know, they have a philosophy, and, you know, I can't sit there and be like, you know, hold a grudge or be mad. Like, I'm grateful that they came and got me from Tennessee, and so I'm forever grateful for the Chiefs and Coach Reed and Pat. You know, man, they treated me like family the time I was there to the time you know, even now, you know. So, yeah, man, the situation was I was a free agent after last year. You know, my agent, Tory, you know, he was like, what teams would you want to, you know, go to, you know, after free agency? Well, you know, I signed to him after I was a free agent, and he was like, what teams, you know, would you want to pursue? And, you know, of course, the Chiefs, because they came and got me from Tennessee, so you know, rightfully, like, so, like, why would I not want to go to the team that I just played for the Super Bowl and give them a chance to at least, you know, see if there's any interest there before I reach out to any other team. And then the Ravens was my other team. And, you know, thankfully we didn't have to get to a third team because, you know, he reached out to the Chiefs and, you know, they moved on and I respected. And so, you know, we reached out to the Ravens and, you know.
With the Ravens, Hop, is
know.
this your last year? Is this going to be, you got 2 more years? What do you feel like you got right now?
Man, you know, honestly, shit, how I feel and, you know, what I know I can do, yeah, man, I feel like I can play a couple more years if I want to, man, and it's just on me and my body. You know, shit, how I train, I feel like with you guys and just, you know, my regime, like
What about your mental?
Man, my mental's
still in
great,
it?
man. Yeah,
Okay.
man. I'm man. Listen, bro. I might come off cool, calm and shit, but like on that field, man. Like if you line up across me, you know what time it is, and you know shit. And it's
I fear God, homie.
nah, that's that shit. Yeah, man. I wake up, you know, looking forward to going to practice and shit like that. You know, that shit still like competing is what I love to do, man. If I can go out and compete every day, I think that's why I play chess so much now. Just 'cause I'm just a competitor. I like competing.
Well, last thing I said was stop working on them draws.
I'm not working out in draws. I have a towel. If you know what, I'm not even gonna explain it. Aaron put up The Rock working out. Aaron put up LeBron James working out. Who else can we put up? Phil Heath working out. Schwarzenegger working out.
They be working on their draws too?
It's not draws. It's spandex. So Kiadi has literally been there from when I moved here to my transition from the Post Oak to the evolution of Congo, and here we are today.
Come on.
Even during that time, you can elaborate. I know we did a little bit. You were with 97.9 The Box, and how prideful you were of that job and how you were the voice of Houston. Things didn't work out. You were coming out with an album. Some things didn't work out there. On your end, a little synopsis. How did you get through that, and where are you at going through things now? I know you're 93.7 The Beat. You're doing stuff with the Rockets.
Right.
What was that evolution like for you? And prior to that, Kiadi is a freestyle.
Yeah. We still got some. I'm gonna give you the quick wrap up. Okay. Literally from leaving 97.9, I ended up getting with iHeartMedia. So I'm the afternoon drive guy here in Houston from 2 to 7. But I'm also syndicated in 37 other cities around the country. So on top of doing that, I'm also the in-arena host for the Houston Rockets. Big shout out the Fertitta family. Shout out Rockets Entertainment.
Shout out Kevin Durant.
I can't say that yet.
Oh, why?
Even though it's on the news, until the team actually makes the real announcement, then
July. You gotta wait until July. You're one of those people.
I got it. Yeah.
I wonder if I have to follow those rules.
Nah, bro. Cause you don't. Shout out to Kevin Durant though. We rock with KD. I like the Slim Reaper. I'm there. I'm with you, but just no. So again, big shout out to the Houston Rockets. Also, full circle moment. It's funny how a lot of time in life we don't really follow the things that make us great. So we'll do a whole lot of little things good instead of focusing on making one thing great, which will open the door for you to be great in other areas. So now, my wife and I, we're business partners. A lot of people, they see Mika at the gym with me. That's been my business partner for forever. Her and I also have basically started our own production company. So now we're about to get ready to roll out. I feel like those. How do I say this? We have a new podcast that's about to roll out. It's a visual podcast with rap elements included in the podcast, and it's going to be phenomenal. We literally just closed on the building and picked up the keys yesterday. So for us, we have things that we're creating and rolling out. The one thing that I will say to, people that watch this, because again, you're telling your truth. Focus on building the things that you own. A lot of time in life, we get sidetracked building other people's dreams and doing what other people want us to do instead of focusing on building what we own. So even deeper than that, it's not just property or businesses, your family. Focus on, a lot of time we spend time away from our kids chasing and investing in things that your kids are the best investment you could ever make. Your family is the best investment you could ever make. Focus on that. You know what I'm saying? So again, for me and for us, that's really what we've been doing. We've really been focusing on the things that we own. And I feel like if more people just focus on that, man, there's a freedom that comes with you focusing on things that you own. And it's a saying that says, if you don't build your dream, then you'll work for somebody to build their dream or something like that.
Yeah. Anybody else out there in my training world and my supplement world, they are competition to me. This is my sport, going back to Game 7. So I'm going to wake up every day. Again, that's why I'm interested to see what you say. But this is how I operate, and I go get it every day.
I'm not mad at that. Mm-hmm. If that's the lens that you look through, then how you move accordingly is understandable, right? For me, what I will tell you is, I think one thing that I've learned in this journey is never take business personal.
Yes.
And that's something that I learned now, which is hard when you're moving with passion and you're trying to.
That's why I got The Godfather.
Hopefully, if you're a business owner or you're aspiring business owner, you can listen to this and learn from both of us. But, when me and Sam started, Inaka just blew up. And I'm talking about I think year one, for a company in that era to do like 6 figures year one under 6 months, I think we did about, because we launched knee sleeves, sold out. We launched lever belts, sold out. We launched lever belts again, sold out. We launched wrist straps and shirts, sold out. I think about that first year, man, we probably did about.
It's a super, super pleasure of ours to be partnered with Legends because we live it, we breathe it. Congo20 is the discount code. You get 20% off. Be sure to like, subscribe, and share the Daily Dose podcast. Follow Legends, and shout out to DeAndre Hopkins and Top.
Just like 300,000 or something like that. And for me back then, that was a fuck ton of money. I was just like, whoa, I remember the first night we sold out, I went to the club and like, I think we dropped like, just stupid. I think I dropped like 20K at the club. I don't know how, but we did. And, I shouldn't have done it at that time, but like, I was just so happy to like, make that much money, and, so get back to the question. 2018, we had a big year. 2019, we did like, just above that, maybe like $500,000. And then 2020, COVID year, was like our year where we really exploded. We did about, just about $2 million. And then after that, 2021, we did about close to $10 million. So, I mean, the point of what I'm saying is that we were exploding so fast that paperwork never even crossed our mind. And I remember there was a time where we sat down to do taxes with our CPA. And, I just kept seeing, when we did taxes that it was only his name, like on the return. And I just kept asking myself in my head, I was like, you know what, maybe it's like that because he's the person that signed up or whatever. I didn't know.
Yeah, 24, 5 years old.
Yeah, so I was just like, okay, you know what, like maybe it's just like that because he's the person that whatever. Eventually I had to like ask, I was like, hey, is there a reason why like on all these documents, like it has Sam as like the complete owner and like I'm nowhere to be seen? Like after all the taxes we've been doing, I'm nowhere to be seen on any of this.
Okay.
She was like, oh, because, under the Texas Secretary of State, he's listed as the only owner. And that was just like my coming to Jesus moment where I was just like, oh, heck no, like that's not going to happen. Yeah. So me and him had like a really very short but rough falling out for about like a month or two, where I pretty much told him that, hey, from this day forward, since we're using my platform to grow this business and my connections, I'm not pushing this shit no more until we get this shit situated.
Yeah.
So like he understood. I think it was an honest mistake on his behalf because we were blowing up so fast that we didn't know what we were doing, and we were both new to this whole business thing. So like we quickly got that situated. We had a long, hard talk with our CPA. We did like the whole like I forgot what the word is, but we did like a whole agreement where we like specified the agreement, specified what would happen if we split, all that stuff. So it took us about 3 years to get that situated. So for 3 years, about $10-15 million in, I wasn't even the owner. Yeah. I was just like a spokesperson. And if he was a bad person, he could have really like screwed me over. Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah. If I could go back, I'm thankful for the way everything happened. If I could go back, I would have much rather had like a gradual blow up. I feel like we blew up way too fast. We blew up way too fast. And I say that because like I couldn't handle it. I couldn't handle it. It turned me into a person that like, I don't know if you remember me when I first started coming to Congo and versus now, like different person. I was very like, I was a dick. I was just like flamboyant and just very like, just like not a good person. I wasn't humble at all. I was just like, I had this very like, I'm better than you because I make money mentality. Had so many cars and just a bunch of stupid stuff, That's why I feel like if I could go back, I wish that I could like, do it in a way, if there was a way I could construct my life, I would do it in a way where we kind of blew up gradually through hard work. Some of the tough points that we went through in Anaka was because of like my distraction from the business because I was just not the right person. So because of the money I was making, I was so invested in like, instead of like, I guess putting it back into the business or like, you know, focusing, putting my head more into the business. I was a lot more interested in just like going on trips or buying the newest Ferrari or buying the newest Lamborghini or buying this. And so for me, it took hiring a good CPA and an advisor, a friend of mine, to really sit me down and just, you know, kind of go over the years of Anaka and what I had done and what I had done wrong and how close I was to like losing everything I had built. And I remember in that moment, man, like I went home and I like sold all my cars. Sold my Lambo, sold my Ferrari, sold my Raptor, sold everything. I just felt like, you know, I had to come to Jesus moment where I was just like, man, what the fuck am I doing, man? When the day comes where I'm able to like, you know, figure out what day I'm selling Anaka, I think at that point I'll just write a book. Obviously for people to like read it and like hopefully find inspiration in it and, you know, learn from my failures and stuff like that. But for me, I feel like it'll be really good to just kind of like professionally like recollect what has happened in the last 10 years of my life. You know, one thing that I tell myself all the time when shit gets tough or when it becomes a grind, because it feels like sometimes the grind is like the whole damn thing. You know, you only quit or you only fail when you quit. You know, business, anything that you do in life, it's only a failure when you decide to hang it up. So you can have like the toughest year or the toughest month or the toughest 3 years, but like until you say, okay, I'm giving up, I'm retiring, I'm stopping this, you haven't failed yet. So, you know, my friends that have been able to sell for the amounts that they're selling at now, it's because like when shit got tough, they didn't quit.
I'm planking on the million. I'm riding through your hood. You can bet I ain't got no ceiling. Made a left on Nostrand Ave.